Hello there, and welcome to Three Spoonies. We're your hosts, Karen, Jo, and Claire. This is episode number 42.5, and we're discussing insurance when you're already ill. Let's get into some questions.
Are you drowning in admin? Struggling to keep up with emails, invoices, social media, or the endless to-do list that comes with running a business? Then it's time to call in Vicky Admin Fairy, an award-winning virtual assistant who brings order to admin chaos. Vicky works with all entrepreneurs, regardless of their background or abilities, to take care of the time-consuming tasks that slow you down. Whether it's managing emails, sorting financial admin, handling social media, chasing late payments, the list is endless. She saves business owners hours every week, reducing stress and ensuring everything runs smoothly. With 25 years of experience, a flexible, client-focused approach, and a reputation for going above and beyond, Vicky adapts to your needs, making your business more efficient so you can focus on what you do best. And the best part? You'll have more free time to grow your business, boost profits, or just enjoy life without admin headaches. Want to free up your time and get your business running more smoothly? Visit www.vickyadminfairy.co.uk or email hello@vickyadminfairy.co.uk to find out how Vicky can help you.
Hello, I'm Karen from Pony Pony Pony.
I'm Jo from Bright Cat Business Solutions.
I'm Claire, your Spoonie on a business break.
And together, we're three spoonies navigating our way through life and business with not enough spoons. Today, we are once again joined by lovely Sarah Gashi. Hello!
Hi again.
Lovely for you to join us once again. Just in case people weren't here last week or they have forgotten, tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
My name's Sarah Gashi and I'm an insurance advisor. I specialise in life insurance, illness cover, accident and injury cover, hospitalisation, and private medical insurance. And I basically look after these types of insurances for my clients.
Splendid. Right, I'm going to pass over to Claire, who has our community questions. Shoosh.
Catching the whoosh. So welcome back, Sarah. Lovely to have you again. Our first question is from Billy, and he says, I want to insure my income, but it's currently variable. Can I pay extra to insure myself for more?
Yes. So at the point of claim, like later down the line, when you happen to be sick and are wanting to claim on your income protection policy, at that point, the insurer will ask for evidence of your most recent income. Most insurers are pretty flexible about how you want to provide this. So for most people, providing their most recent self-assessment tax return is the easiest way. But if you have most recently had, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 really great months, like excellent months where you've earned more than usual, that are not yet reflected in your most recent tax return, then you are free to instead provide evidence of what you've earned most recently, as it's a bit higher and may mean that you could claim a bit more. This is the slight risk here is that if you're paying for a larger amount of insurance on a monthly basis, but then at the point of claim, when you do want to claim, most recently you've actually been earning less, you will still, of course, be able to claim, but the amount you can claim will be proportional to how much you've most recently been earning. So you might not be able to claim quite as much cover as you would have hoped if your income has gone down.
That makes sense. I get that. It depends on how you're doing as well. It's a bit of a tricky one to kind of work out as well when you're kind of doing your insurance.
Yeah, so it's one of the reasons it's important to have regular reviews in the insurance world. Regular is like once every 2 years, so don't worry, it's not monthly or anything, but once every 2 years would be like a typical interval for having a brief review with your advisor to particularly in the case of income protection, to see what your income has been most recently and if we should flex the policy up or down a little bit. If you do have any sick pay from any employer that you might have, that might have changed as well. You know, if your contract has changed at all, your sick pay arrangements have changed, the number of hours you work has changed, that sort of thing. So you can have a review at any point. So if something has changed, obviously you can contact your advisor to review your policy straight away. But you should typically expect that if you don't contact your advisor, that he or she will contact you once every 2 years to just ask you for a brief update. Are you still in the same job? Has your pay gone up? Has it gone down? And to adjust your policy accordingly. That way, it just makes sure that you're not unnecessarily overpaying for more insurance than you could actually claim if you needed to claim, but equally that you're not underinsured and you're not paying ongoingly for a policy that's actually a little too small for what you needed to do.
Oh, that makes total sense. Definitely. So thank you for that one. Our next question is from Alyssa, and she says, I recently had a TIA mini stroke and sometimes forget things. If I forget to add something to my insurance policy, can I add it later or will I be in trouble for lying?
And so with having recently had a TIA, it's very likely that when you apply for insurance, that the insurer will then want to write to your GP to get some extra detail about the TIA. Most customers are not doctors. So often the insurer would like to hear directly from a doctor in all the, the medical speak, the proper terminology of everything that you and I, sort of ordinary non-doctor people, may not know the proper terms. But so in this case, the insurer would write to your doctor anyway. So they may well find out from the doctor a thing or two that you had forgotten. And then they may have a few follow-up questions about that. But all of this would take place at the beginning, upon you applying in the first place anyway. So there's no need to worry that, later down the line that they may discover something that you had forgotten, because they're going to find it out right at the beginning before the policy begins anyway.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And our final question is from Katya, and she says, if I add a condition to my insurance, will it make my premiums always go up?
So insurance is based on your health and your age on the day that you take it out. You don't have to provide an updates on your medical situation unless you are requesting yourself to change your insurance. So if you want to change something, they can ask you to make a medical declaration afresh, especially if it's because you would like a bit more cover in particular. You may have to make a new medical declaration. And any new cover that you take out will be based on your health and your age at the new point that you're taking out the new bit of cover. Sometimes I speak to customers who have an older policy, which was taken out when they were in better health, before they had whatever the diagnosis may be. And they are coming to me saying they would ideally like to have some more cover. Often in this scenario, rather than replacing the old policy, which is on a great rate, a cheaper rate because they had not yet had the diagnosis and because they were younger when they took it out as well, rather than replacing the previous policy, it's often better to just take a smaller top-up amount. So the little extra bit of cover that gets added to the pre-existing policy, the little extra new bit will be more expensive compared to the amount of cover, but still the two policies added together will equal the amount of cover that is now required. Often that's more efficient than cancelling the old policy and replacing the whole thing with one new policy, of which it would all be on the more expensive rate.
That's really interesting. I didn't know you could just do like add-ons, and you probably did tell me at the time, but you know what, my brain is terrible. So, but that's really a good way of doing it, because I would have thought you'd have to kind of like cancel your old one and redo a new one. So that's quite handy that you don't have to.
You are allowed to take as many policies as you like. They can just stack. Obviously, within reason, you probably wouldn't want to have so many that at the point of claim that would be, confusing or whatever. But it's absolutely fine if people end up with, 3 or 4, let's say, it's not a problem, especially if you've got an advisor taking care of them for you as well. It means if ever you need a summary of what you're covered for, you can just ask this one person who can say, you know, oh, with this insurer, you have this policy, and with this insurer, you have that policy, and this one's going to expire at this time, but then you'll still have this one, which is going to go on for longer. So if you've got someone that's got an overview on everything and taking care of it for you, it often is the best thing, the most cost effective and the most efficient to actually have, you know, a couple of policies rather than sort of wiping clean the slate of everything you've had before and starting all over again with one brand new policy. That's often just not in the best interest of the customer. It will mean you pay more for the same amount of cover.
Yeah, that is perfect. So that is all of our questions, and I'm gonna. Do you girls have questions for Sarah?
No, I'm good.
No, I was difficult last time.
That was difficult a week ago. It's fine. Oh, perfect. I'm going to whoosh back to Karen.
Yes, Sarah, thank you for being here again. You certainly said some things that I knew nothing about there, which is always good, I feel. So if people do want to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
I would say you can send me an email, which will be sarah@pure-protection.co.uk. And we can set up a phone call, or you can just give me a ring or send me a WhatsApp message on 07479 817 224. I will be happy to have a chat with you about any insurance matters. It's what I'm here for.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us for 3 Spoonies on insurance when you're already ill. We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments and any questions you have. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe for our weekly podcast and leave us a review. You can also buy us a coffee if you like what we do. Thank you, by the way. All the links, as ever, will be in the show notes. We'll see you next week for our next topic, celebrating your wins. Huzzah! Have a great day and keep track of your spoons.